Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Gavel. I am Benny Ark. The lingering concern over the implementation of state police have continued to shadow the bill more than 3 weeks after it was passed by the Senate. However, the Deputy President of the Senate maintains that the decision will not be one the country regrets. State police, according to him, will curb terrorism and address other existing gaps in federal policing structure. He also responds to concerns around exploitation by state governors. He stated this during a chat with journalists in his office.
Of course, we are a country operating under democracy. We've got to listen to the people. We have to listen to the people. In that regard, there were two bills from the Senate and I think some other bill from the House of Representatives that were brought to for consideration in order to alter the Constitution to allow for the establishment of state police in the states of this country. And we took that as part of our exercise amongst the bills. It was included amongst the bills that were brought, other bills that were brought, and we had several public hearings, at the zonal level, and one at the national level, and we collated, input from various stakeholders. We allowed Nigerians to ventilate their views in respect to this agitation for the establishment of state police, and what the president did, which I should commend him for doing that, was that the executive stayed on the sideline, watching with keen interest and attention in respect to what was happening. And while we are about to put together our report, the presidency, in continuation of what it has been doing in respect to coming out with a robust and well thought out bill, invited us, not only us, even the IGP of police and other experts in policing, experience, were called, and there were intense interactions, collaboration in respect to looking at the entire, what should be brought to the National Assembly for passage. And what the president brought to us was a product of that interaction, which is a well thought out, well crafted bill that has taken cognizance of the two sides of the divide, because there are two shades of opinions. One, some people were saying, well, we need state police that will strengthen the security architecture we have, so as to create a difference in respect to what is happening in terms of the insecurity we're having, so as to rejig, to energize the security architecture. And some are saying, well, we need that, but the problem is that it could be abused. It might be abused to the detriment of society, human rights issues, that some people in the state will try to manipulate the police service system, the state police service system, to their advantage, maybe persecute their political opponents or use it for ethnic persecution, human rights abuses and whatever. So what the president did, which he should be commended for, is that he took cognizance of these two divides and crafted a bill that has swayed the feelings, that has taken care of these two different sides of the coin, shades of opinion. The police, the state police service will be established, but there are safeguards to make sure that nobody gets the opportunity to abuse that service to the detriment of the society. But as I said earlier, there are safeguards. This can range from making sure nobody has total authority on the police service in each state. You have the State Police Service Commission, where the commander shall be appointed by the governor, but with the recommendation of the National Police Council. So it's not the governor that will go outrightly, right, to appoint the commander of the state police. The National Police Council will, because the National Police Council constitute, you have, members of that council include, of course, the president, the governors, the IGP, other police experts, former retired police high-ranking police personnel will also be part of that council. So professionalism will be brought to bear in making sure that the person appointed to be appointed in a state is really qualified. What people thought was that maybe a certain high-ranking person in a state will appoint the commander, and so that commander will then act in line with the whims and caprices of such person. But that is not the case, because the system will not allow for just one person to appoint the commander, and that commander will now do whatever such person asks him to do. So that is that respect, right? And even in terms of the standard of operation, it has to be decided by the Constitution as well as the Act of National Assembly, by the Act of National Assembly and the State Assembly as well. So these are real wonderful safeguards that will not allow for abuse. Apart from that, in case the police force, the police service in the state now derail completely and begin to act in a manner that is inimical to the entire federation or to the state, or doing things that will compromise the security of the entire nation or the sovereignty or the the interest of the nation, then there are safeguards to disable that force, that service at that state. And the federal police service will take over. We have the minimum national standard of operation of the state police system that will be enshrined in an Act of National Assembly. No state police service will be allowed to go below the national minimum standard. No one will be allowed to derail. Yes, the state legislators will also make laws for the state police, but that law shall not conflict with the Act of National Assembly or the Constitution. Once it conflicts with that, whatever they pass at the state level will be null and void. So we have understood, the president understands that. That's why he carefully crafted this bill. There are safeguards. No one at all going with the bill, because the bill is wonderful. This has been allayed. So it's not possible. It's no longer, going to be like the State Electoral Commission. No. If you look at the bill, you have what we call the national minimum standard that shall be specified in an Act of National Assembly. And no state police service can be allowed to go below the national minimum standard. When it does so, when that is done, when it derails, of course, the president can invoke the relevant section to get the police service of that state disabled. The federal police, of course, will deal with the federation, matters to do with the federation, matter to do with interstate, matter to do with organized crime like cyber crime, like crime that have international dimension. Whereas the state, police service will take care of law and order in the state and ensuring the protection of the lives and property of the people of the state, and in line with the law passed with the state and by the State Assembly that are not in conflict, with the Act of National Assembly and the Constitution. So they will take care of that. But these are the two demarcations, but more will be specified in the Act of National Assembly that will follow. For you to have an effective policing system, police service arrangement that will really deal with the insecurity we are facing, you need to engage those who are part of that same society, who are residents of that area, thank you for the word, will be able to know what's going on better, will be able to know the bandits, where they are, know where the terrorists are, know where the kidnappers are, and so on and so forth, better than someone who is just coming for an operation Let's be optimistic based on the political will of Mr. President, based on our own passion, our desire to contribute, the desire of the governors to contribute, the desire of well-meaning Nigerians to contribute into making sure that this arrangement works. We should be optimistic. There's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. The Senate has passed the bill. The House will pass. Once the House is able to do so, then it will be transmitted to the states for their concurrence. Once we are done with the constitutional alterations, we have to come down to now, craft the Act of National Assembly that will deal with the nitty-gritty of the system. Now you have to make sure that that's what the bill, of course, is seeking to do now, replacing where you have the Federal Police Force, Nigerian Police Force, to Federal Police Service, to State Police Services, where you have National Police Council to Federal Police Council, and for the State Police Council, and where you have the National Police Service Commission to Federal Police Service Commission, and then to the State Police Service Commission. So most of the alterations are in line with this change in nomenclature in the bill. So there are, repercussions for flouting, or derailing, or using the state police force to persecute, intimidate.
In the bill?
Yeah, sure.
But we didn't get to see
It's there in the bill. It's there in the bill. Repercussions. The highest is that the police service trustee will be disabled by Mr. President. And the Federal Police Service or the Federal Police Commissioner in that state will take control of the state police service when that is done. So the issue of, we're taking that seriously. Mr. President has taken that seriously. So it's inside the Constitution. It's inside, it has been, so it's going to be inside the Constitution. But again, the Act of National Assembly that you refer to, which is going to be put together, will also have further penalty. It will be, it will be enhanced. The issue of safeguard will also be enhanced. I can tell you, it will be enhanced in order to make sure that nobody is being, the police service is not used to persecute anyone, to, intimidate for either for political reason or for ethnic reason or for religious reason or whatever reason. The agitation for the establishment of state police is something that has been a recurring agitations, right? Not from one quarter, from different quarters. It's not from Mr. President alone. Mr. President is the president of the country. He has to listen to the people. It's not coming. You can hear that all over. You know the fact that several members of the House of Representatives, several senators have brought bills asking that the Constitution should be altered to give room for the establishment of state police. Several state governors have called for that. Several individuals around the country. So it's something that is being, asked for by several people in this country. So it's not the way you think. It's a system that has worked elsewhere, all right? And we don't have anything to believe that it cannot work in this country. I don't think there's anything that will say will be too much when applied in order to have sound security in this country. Whatever we think that we can do to change the trajectory of our security situation should be welcomed by all and sundry.
Welcome back to the Gavel. We're staying with the Senate. Lawmakers in the upper chamber at the resumption of plenary this week are expected to make the implementation of state police a legislative priority by harmonizing all aspects with the House of Representatives. In the Senate, upon resumption from 3 weeks recess, lawmakers will officially welcome back with a speech from the Senate President. The rising spate of insecurity was revisited by Senator Abdelaziz Yar'Adua, who sounded an alarm over the increasing wave of attacks targeting serving and retired military officers.
The Senate further notes with grave concern the growing pattern of abductions,
killings and violent attacks against serving and retired military personnel across the country.
We are walking the streets as walking cops because anything can happen to anybody. There is an urgent need for the leadership of this Senate to meet with Mr. President and re-emphasize the concern of Nigerians. Otherwise, quite frankly, it's becoming, in an election year, anything can happen to anybody.
Following robust deliberations, the Senate further resolved to ensure arrest and prosecution of those responsible for the violent attacks.
Your additional prayers to stop rehabilitation of Boko Haram.
Yes, it does not make evil common sense to grant pardon and rehabilitate and reintegrate criminals.
Those in favor of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Meanwhile, the xenophobic attacks in South Africa was another deep concern for the lawmakers following a motion sponsored by Senator Asuko Ekpeyong.
The Senate observes that the indiscriminate targeting of foreign nationals, including lawful residents, demonstrate that the campaign cannot be regarded merely as immigration enforcement, but constitutes xenophobic hostility based on nationality and perceived foreign origin.
Nigeria and Nigerians should be the centerpiece of our foreign policy. Any harm to any Nigerian should be taken seriously.
Lawmakers appeared united in their call for tougher measures against South Africa.
As we are talking today, over 1,200 Nigerians are already being evacuated. And what does the government do? Caution. Caution what? Caution what? Are we not Nigerians? Don't Nigerians deserve to live in other countries? Even if they are armed robbers, even if they are criminals, are they supposed to be killed? Yet, the cornerstone of Nigerian foreign policy is Africa. But that has to change.
The member raised the matter of personal explanation, calling on the House to invite President Bola Tinubu.
Security agencies are not being funded. Our people are kidnapped every day. Heads are being chopped off on national television. We want to invite the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as our father to come and explain to us why we are spending trillions of naira doing roads, why we are spending billions of naira doing coastal roads, yet Nigerians are dying.
The motion was, however, opposed, leading to a rowdy session.
Observation. What Honorable Masco read was a complete deviation from the motion that he gave me, upon which I gave him the right to bring this particular motion before you. This is unparliamentary, and we should desist from doing so.
The lawmakers also called for urgent measures to dismantle criminal financial networks, following revelations that kidnappers received an estimated 2.23 trillion naira in ransom payments between 2021 and 2025. They also raised concerns over the alleged use of point-of-sale POS operators, bureau de change outlets, and cryptocurrency platforms to launder ransom payments.
I want to come up with 2 amendments. Haven't accepted all the prayer, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I want to say that in addition to not paying ransom, I don't believe and I don't see any rationale behind rehabilitating a criminal that is killing people. When arrested, you rehabilitate him and he becomes an informant in the mix of our own security.
When we came naturally, most of what we are doing, it is on 2 fat or 3 fat: legislation, representation, and oversight. People are more focused on the representation. what are you taking back home to the people to do the constituency project and some project which you will mobilize to your constituency. Maybe I will focus on that one. Although we have achieved a lot in lawmaking, my presentation, bills, motions, contribution in the pillow of the Senate, it is very clear, and we have so many things to say about that one. But now I will focus on representation, where we mobilize or we facilitated so many things through our budget and outside the budget. I will focus on some our achievement which is outside of the budget, which is very, very abnormal. It is through your effort. Last year, myself and my brother from the house, we happened to be member from my constituency, Honorable Kabiru Rurum. We met Mr. President and we discussed a lot with Mr. President. We met him with so many requests to do with our challenges in our constituency. Our main focus is our irrigation scheme, which is there for almost 50 years. And we have 3 dams, major dams in Kano. The last one is constructed by IBB administration, almost 32 years, and is abundant, is underutilized. Therefore, we met Mr. President, we pushed our case, and Mr. President willingly approved some money to us through ecology office to go and reactivate, rehabilitate, and reconstruct some of the irrigation scheme or the irrigation scheme of Kano South Senatorial District. And when we met with the Hadejama Area Ecology Office and some expert, and of course the representative of the people, we agreed to approach the challenge in 4 ways. First, we look at the irrigation equipment, irrigation and farming equipment to our farmers, which will help them to produce more and to carry their finished product, one angle, and to provide a quick solution to our challenge, our irrigation scheme. Therefore, we came with an idea of digging tube wells. It is just 10 to 15 to 20 meter down. We provided almost 5,500 different tube wells in the senatorial district, and we provide pump machine to the farmers. At least 5,500 farms are benefiting from this initiative. And there are some equipment, motorcycle, a tricycle, and some farming and irrigation equipment, which is there. You can see it by yourself in the phase 1 of the project. Then we have a serious challenge of rural roads, drainages, bridges, and of course erosion challenges in the senatorial district. Therefore, we embark on massive construction of rural roads, drainages, erosion control, and so you can go there and see it by yourself. Then rural water supply is another challenge, which for now we have provided almost 500 units of hand pump. Almost 500. We have finished almost 350, and we are continue to almost 500 in the rural water supply. We have already achieved almost 75% there. Then the main irrigation scheme, rehabilitation and reactivating of our 3 dams, Kapunchuri, Tiga, and Chalawa Goje. They are working day in, day out. We are opening new sectors, almost 50,000 hectares now is under construction, just to boost the agricultural and irrigation in the area, which by the grace of God, it will change or it will add value to food production in Kano vis-a-vis in northern Nigeria.
That wraps it up on this week's edition of the program. We'd love to hear from you, so please send us your feedback, comments, and suggestions to thegavel@channelstv.com. Until next week, when another edition comes your way, I am Benny Ark. Stay safe and be well. you.